Dear ladies and gentlemen, life is not a prison sentence handed to you at birth. It is a possibility. But for most people, life feels like a fixed script. Same thoughts, same actions, same struggles day after day. If you are tired of this repetition, if you wish to become unrecognizable, then understand this. Transformation is not a process of years. It can happen in a moment. 1 week is more than enough to break the old and step into the new. But for this, you must be willing to let go of your old self, not bit by bit, but completely. You must be willing to destroy the limitations you have built around yourself, your habits, your identities, your fears. If you can do this, you will not only change your life, you will become a force of nature, an entirely new being. Your past is not carved into the walls of time. It exists only in your mind. Every memory, every failure, every heartbreak, and every regret you carry is like a heavy bag strapped to your back. You may have gotten used to its weight, but that does not mean it is not slowing you down. If you wish to transform, if you wish to become a new being, the first and most important thing you must do is let go of this burden. Not gradually, not piece by piece, but completely. Look at a child, free, uninhibited, full of energy and joy. What is the difference between you and that child? The only difference is that you have collected too much unnecessary baggage. Somewhere along the way, you started identifying with your failures, your past mistakes, your traumas, and your disappointments. You started believing that these experiences define you, but they do not. They are simply events that happen. They are no more a part of you than the clothes you wore 5 years ago. Yet you continue to wear them in your mind day after day. If you wish to be unrecognizable in a week, drop it all just for a few days. Experiment with this. Wake up in the morning and tell yourself, I do not know who I am. Let go of every past label, every limitation, every identity you have carried. See how it feels to move through the day without the weight of yesterday pressing down on you. When you meet people, do not carry the burden of past interactions. Respond as if you are meeting them for the first time. When you take action, do not let past failures whisper doubts into your mind. Act as if success is the only possibility. The human mind is like a river. It is meant to flow. But most people have turned their minds into a stagnant pond, collecting every dead leaf of the past and allowing it to rot within them. This is why they feel stuck. This is why they feel heavy. The moment you decide to drop the past, you allow the river to flow again. You become fresh, alive, limitless. This is not philosophy, it is a fundamental truth of life. If you truly wish to see a transformation, do not wait for years to pass. Do not wait for external circumstances to change. Simply drop the past and you will see, you will walk differently, you will talk differently, you will even breathe differently. You will become a new being, not because something outside has changed, but because you have finally removed the weight that was keeping you from moving forward. The way you begin your day is not just a routine. It is a foundation upon which your entire life is built. Every morning you have a choice. You can wake up like a machine dragged into the day by alarms, notifications, and obligations, or you can rise with awareness, with a sense of purpose before the world begins to demand things from you. Waking up before the sun is not about discipline alone. It is about claiming your time before the noise of the world takes over. It is about stepping into the day as a creator, not as a follower. Nature moves in cycles. The planet, the seasons, the tides, even your own body, all follow a rhythm. If you align yourself with this rhythm, life flows effortlessly. If you resist it, life becomes a struggle. Before the sun rises, the world is in a state of transition, a delicate moment when everything is still, yet brimming with potential. The air is fresh, the mind is clear, and there is a natural stillness that allows you to tap into a different level of energy. If you wake up at this time and consciously set your intention for the day, Your thoughts, actions, and emotions will be directed by you, not by circumstances. Most people do not realize that the way they wake up determines the rest of their day. If you wake up sluggish, hitting snooze multiple times, dragging yourself out of bed with resistance, you have already lost the first battle of the day. You step into the world half defeated, lacking energy, and moving through life on autopilot. But if you wake up before the sun, before the chaos begins, you step into the day with clarity. You create a gap between your mind and the outside world, a sacred space where you can decide how you want to feel, think, and act. If you have never done this before, try it for just 1 week. Wake up before the sun, step outside, and simply observe the world coming to life. Feel the coolness of the air, listen to the silence, and recognize that in this stillness lies an opportunity. A moment when you are not yet bound by yesterday, not yet pulled into today's distractions. This is your time to breathe, to move, to realign yourself with your highest possibility. When you wake up early, you gain control over your own energy. Your body responds differently. Your thoughts become sharper and your emotions become more stable. You are no longer rushing through life, reacting to things as they come. Instead, you move with intention, with clarity, and with a sense of mastery over yourself. And when you start your day in such a way, the rest of your day cannot help but align with this energy. The question is not whether you can wake up early. The question is, do you want to wake up to your highest possibility? Or do you want to wake up to the same cycle of repetition? If you wish to transform, start with the first moment of your day. Wake up before the sun and you will see life itself will wake up within you. Your body is the instrument through which you experience life, and your breath is the bridge between your body and your mind. Yet, most people treat their bodies like a burden and their breath like an afterthought. They sit in rigid postures, move without awareness, and breathe shallowly, never realizing that these simple acts determine the quality of their existence. If you can master just 3 things, breathing fully, moving consciously, and sitting in stillness, you will unlock a level of vitality and clarity that most people never experience in their lifetime. Breath is life. It is the very force that keeps you alive. Yet how often do you even notice it? If you observe, you will see that the way you breathe reflects your inner state. When you are anxious, your breath is rapid and shallow. When you are calm, it is deep and steady. But what most people do not realize is that this works both ways. Just as emotions affect your breath can also influence your emotions. If you can learn to breathe consciously, deeply, and fully, you can bring balance to your entire system. Try this. For just a few minutes every morning, sit in a quiet place and take deep, controlled breaths. Inhale fully, expand your lungs, and exhale completely. Do this for a few days and you will notice something remarkable. Your mind becomes clearer, your body feels lighter, and your emotions become more stable. Movement is another key. Your body is designed to move, but modern life has reduced it to a machine of convenience. Sitting for hours, slouching, and moving without awareness create blockages in your energy, making you feel heavy and stagnant. If you want to feel truly alive, move your body every day. Stretch, walk, dance, or practice a form of physical exercise that engages your entire being. Move not just to burn calories, but to awaken the intelligence within your body. If you pay attention, you will notice that every movement carries energy. When you move with awareness, you are not just exercising, you are realigning your system, allowing energy to flow freely. And then there is stillness. Most people are afraid of stillness because it forces them to confront their own thoughts. They keep themselves distracted, always engaged in some activity, never realizing that true power lies in mastering the ability to sit without movement, without restlessness. If you can sit still, fully present, without fidgeting, without reaching for your phone, without feeling the urge to do something, you will begin to access a level of inner strength that few ever experience. Try this. For a few minutes every day, sit in complete stillness. Close your eyes, relax your body, and simply observe. You will notice how much noise your mind creates, but do not engage with it. Just watch. Slowly, a space will open up within you, a space of silence and clarity. Breathing deeply, moving consciously, and sitting in stillness are not three separate practices. They are three dimensions of the same transformation. If you bring awareness to them for just 1 week, you will notice a profound shift in your energy, your thoughts, and your very presence. You will no longer feel like a restless mind trapped in a tired body. Instead, you will feel alive, vibrant, and completely in control of yourself. When breath, movement, and stillness are in harmony, life itself flows in a way that is effortless and beautiful. Most people live their lives in a constant state of reaction. Something happens and they react, without pause, without thought, without awareness. Someone says something unpleasant and they snap back in anger. A small inconvenience occurs and their entire mood is ruined. They hear a piece of news and suddenly their emotions spiral out of control. This is how most people exist. Not as conscious beings, but as puppets controlled by external situations. If you wish to transform, the first thing you must understand is this: nothing outside of you should have the power to dictate your inner state. Right now, if someone praises you, you feel happy. If someone criticizes you, you feel insulted. If things go according to your plans, you are excited. If things go slightly off track, you are miserable. In all of this, where are you? You are merely reacting, constantly pulled in different directions by circumstances. If you continue living this way, there will be no stability in your life. Your emotions will always be at the mercy of situations and people around you. But there is another way. Instead of reacting, learn to respond. Reaction is impulsive. It is based on past conditioning. Response, on the other hand, comes from awareness, from a place of clarity and control. The difference is simple. When you react, you are being controlled. When you respond, you are in control. A reaction happens instantly without thought. A response comes after a moment of pause, after conscious reflection. A reaction is emotional, often destructive. A response is thoughtful, often transformative. Try this for the next 7 days whenever something triggers you, whether it is a rude comment, an unexpected challenge, or an unfavorable situation. Pause. Do not react immediately. Take a breath. Observe what is happening inside you. Instead of letting emotions take over, decide how you want to respond. You will be surprised at how much power this simple pause gives you. In that brief moment of stillness, you reclaim your control. You are no longer just an accumulation of habits and emotions. You become an intelligent, conscious being. Imagine a tree in the middle of a storm. If the tree is weak, the wind bends it, breaks it, throws it to the ground. But if the tree is deeply rooted, no storm can shake it. Your mind is the same. If you are rooted in awareness, no situation can disturb you. If you are merely reacting to everything around you, life will always feel like a storm pulling you in all directions. This one shift from reaction to response can change everything. You will stop wasting energy on meaningless conflicts. You will no longer be disturbed by things that once unsettled you. People will begin to notice something different about you, a sense of calm and unshakable presence. And most importantly, you will realize that the only person who should have control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions is you. Food is not just about taste, culture, or habit. It is fuel for your body and mind. Every bite you take either strengthens you or weakens you. Every meal you consume either enhances your energy or dulls your system. But most people eat unconsciously, stuffing themselves with whatever is available, whatever is convenient, or whatever momentarily satisfies their cravings, without ever considering what the food is actually doing to them. If you wish to transform yourself, one of the most fundamental shifts you can make is to eat with awareness. Right now, observe how you feel after your meals. Do you feel light, energetic, and clear-minded, or do you feel sluggish, heavy, and dull? Most people do not even realize that their lack of energy, their mental fog, and their emotional instability are largely influenced by what they consume. Food is not just about physical nourishment. It directly impacts your mind, your emotions, and your overall sense of well-being. Try this for 1 week. Before eating anything, pause and ask yourself, is this food going to make me feel more alive or less alive? If you start choosing your food based on this one simple question, you will immediately notice a change in your body and mind. Eat fresh, vibrant foods that carry life within them. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and wholesome natural meals. Reduce anything that is processed, chemically altered, or overloaded with sugar and artificial substance. If you eat food that is alive, you will feel alive. If you eat food that is dead and lifeless, it is no surprise that your body feels exhausted and your mind feels unclear. Beyond what you eat, also observe how you eat. Most people eat while watching a screen, scrolling through their phones, or lost in conversation, barely aware of what is going into their mouths. They eat in a hurry, without chewing properly, without tasting, without appreciating the nourishment their food is providing. Try this instead. Sit in silence for at least one meal a day. Eat slowly, chew thoroughly, be fully present with every bite. You will notice that when you eat with awareness, you need less food to feel satisfied. Your digestion improves and your energy levels rise naturally. Another thing to observe is your body's natural rhythm. Most people eat not because they are hungry, but because it is time to eat, or because of emotional craving. If you tune in, your body will tell you exactly when it needs nourishment and when it does not. Sometimes just skipping a meal when you are not truly hungry can give your body a break, allowing it to cleanse itself and function better. Your body is highly intelligent. Listen to it instead of blindly following external habits. If you make food a conscious process for just 1 week, you will notice a massive shift in your energy, mood, and overall health. Your mind will be clearer, your body will feel lighter, and your emotions will become more balanced. Food is not just about pleasure, it is the foundation of your physical and mental well-being. If you choose wisely, eat with awareness, and respect what your body truly needs, you will experience a transformation that no medicine, no therapy, and no external force can ever give you. Most people speak far more than they need to. The words pour out of them endlessly. Justifications, complaints, opinions, gossip. Most of it unnecessary, most of it mindless. They speak not because it is needed, but because they are uncomfortable with silence. They talk to fill space, to seek validation, to prove themselves to others, or simply out of habit. But if you observe carefully, you will notice that the more a person speaks, the less power their words carry. Words should be like arrows, sharp, precise, and effective, not like scattered leaves blown away by the wind before they can make an impact. If you truly wish to transform, one of the simplest yet most profound changes you can make is to speak less and observe more. Right now, most of what you say is unconscious, just a reaction to what is happening around you. But if you make it a practice to pause before speaking, to ensure that your words are truly necessary, you will begin to see something remarkable. Your words will start to carry weight. People will listen when you speak because they will know that you do not waste words. Your presence will become stronger, your communication more impactful. Beyond external speech, observe your inner dialogue as well. Right now, even when you are not speaking, your mind is constantly chattering. It is judging, analyzing, commenting on everything you see, do, and experience. This mental noise drains your energy without you even realizing it. Try this. Spend 1 day in silence, not just outwardly but inwardly as well. Reduce unnecessary talking, and when thoughts arise, do not get involved in them. Simply observe them like passing clouds. If you do this, you will begin to feel a sense of inner stillness that you have never experienced before. And when you do speak, let your words come from awareness, not from habit. Speak only what adds value, what brings clarity, what uplifts rather than diminishes. When you start speaking consciously, you will notice that your relationships improve, conflicts reduce, and your presence becomes more commanding. You will also begin to notice things about people and situations that you never did before. When you are not constantly focused on what to say next, your ability to listen, to understand, and to perceive life more deeply expands tremendously. This is not about becoming silent forever. It is about speaking with intention. It is about realizing that words once spoken cannot be taken back. They can either create or destroy, uplift or weaken, heal or wound. If you treat words with the same care that a sculptor treats his masterpiece, you will see your words will no longer be ordinary sounds. They will become powerful tools of transformation. Once upon a time, in a magical forest, there lived a little fairy named Rosie. Rosie had shiny wings that sparkled like the stars in the sky. She loved exploring the forest and making friends with the woodland creatures. One sunny morning, as Rosie flew among the tall trees, she heard a soft whimper coming from behind a bush. Curious, she flew closer and discovered a tiny baby dragon, all alone and scared. Most people go through life chasing external validation, always seeking approval, praise, and recognition from others. They shape their actions, words, and even thoughts based on how they will be perceived. But in doing so, they lose touch with their true selves. They become prisoners of other people's opinions, living not for their own fulfillment but for the approval of the world. If you want to transform, you must understand one fundamental truth. No one else's opinion should have the power to define who you are. Look at how much of your energy is spent worrying about what others think. You hesitate before making decisions, wondering how people will judge you. You hold back from expressing yourself fully, fearing criticism. Even your smallest actions, what you wear, what you post, what you say, are often influenced by an invisible audience that exists only in your mind. But ask yourself, whose life are you living? Is it truly yours, or is it a performance designed to gain acceptance? The truth is, no matter what you do, people will always have opinions. Some will praise you, some will criticize you. If you succeed, some will admire you, while others will envy you. If you fail, some will sympathize, while others will mock you. But all of this is irrelevant, because their opinions change like the wind, and you cannot build a stable life on something so unpredictable. The moment you stop seeking validation, you become free. You move through life with confidence, not because people approve of you, but because you approve of yourself. Try this. For 1 week, observe how many of your actions are shaped by the fear of judgment. Every time you hesitate to do something because of what others might think, push through it. Speak your truth even if it is uncomfortable. Make decisions based on what feels right to you, not on how they will be perceived. You will begin to feel an incredible sense of lightness, as if a weight has been lifted. That weight is the burden of other people's expectations, and once you drop it, you will realize how unnecessary it was all along. The greatest minds, the most extraordinary individuals in history, were never concerned with public opinion. They followed their inner calling even when the world misunderstood them. If you truly wish to become unrecognizable, to step into a higher version of yourself, you must stop looking outward for validation. The world will always have something to say, but in the end, the only voice that truly matters is the one inside you. Your environment is shaping you in ways you do not even realize. The people you surround yourself with, the places you spend your time in, the media you consume, all of these are constantly influencing your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Most people assume that they are in control of their own lives, but in reality, they are merely products of their environment. If you truly want to transform yourself, you must take charge of what surrounds you. Look around you. The conversations you engage in, are they uplifting or draining? The people in your life, do they push you toward growth or keep you stuck in old patterns? The information you absorb, does it expand your mind or clutter it with distractions? If you are constantly in a negative environment, one filled with gossip, complaints, and meaningless distractions, how can you expect to rise above it? The mind is like a sponge. Whatever it is exposed to, it absorbs. And over time, that becomes the lens through which you see life. Take a moment to evaluate your surroundings. If you are constantly surrounded by people who complain, who make excuses, who live in fear, it is only a matter of time before you adopt the same mindset. But if you are in an environment of growth where people are striving to improve themselves, where conversations are about possibilities rather than limitations, your own mindset will expand. You will start thinking bigger, acting with more purpose, and moving toward your highest potential. It is not just about people, it is also about the physical spaces you inhabit. If your room, your workspace, your home is cluttered, your mind will reflect that same chaos. Clean, organize, create a space that supports clarity and focus. If your environment is chaotic, your thoughts will be chaotic. If your space is peaceful, your mind will be peaceful. Your outer world is simply a reflection of your inner world, and the two are deeply connected. Try this for 1 week. Clean up your physical space, distance yourself from negative influences, and consciously choose what you expose your mind to. Instead of wasting time on distractions, consume information that enriches you. Instead of engaging in negative conversations, surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. You will notice that your energy shifts, your thoughts become clearer, your emotions become more balanced. Transformation does not happen in isolation. You cannot grow in an environment that constantly pulls you backward. If you truly want to become unrecognizable, to step into a new version of yourself, you must design your surroundings with intention, choose what feeds your mind, body, and soul, and let go of everything that does not support your highest growth. The moment you take control of your environment, you take control of your life. Most people go through life carrying the past like a heavy weight, dragging it into every moment, every decision, and every interaction. They replay old failures, regrets, and painful memories over and over again as if doing so will somehow change what has already happened. But the past is unchangeable. No amount of thinking, analyzing, or regretting will alter a single moment of it. Yet, so many remain prisoners of their history, allowing past wounds to define who they are today. If you want to transform, you must learn to let go. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself from the emotional grip of the past. It means no longer allowing old experiences to dictate your present actions. Every time you recall a painful event and feel the same anger, sadness, or regret, you are not suffering from the past. You are suffering from your unwillingness to let go of it. The past exists only as a memory, a thought, and it holds power over you only because you keep feeding it. Observe your mind. How often do you dwell on things that cannot be changed? How many times have you replayed a conversation that is long over? How often do you define yourself based on past failures? Imagine holding on to a burning coal, refusing to drop it, while blaming the fire for your pain. The coal is not the problem, your grip is. If you let go, the pain stops instantly. In the same way, the past does not hurt you, your attachment to it does. Try this for 1 week. Every time an old regret, a past mistake, or an emotional wound resurfaces, pause. Instead of getting lost in it, simply acknowledge it and say to yourself, this is over. I do not have to carry this anymore. Then shift your attention to the present moment. Feel your breath, observe your surroundings, bring yourself fully into what is happening right now. With practice, you will notice that the past starts losing its grip on you. Letting go is a skill. It requires awareness, patience, and a willingness to move forward without carrying unnecessary baggage. But once you master it, you will experience a lightness that most people never know. You will no longer be burdened by things you cannot change. You will wake up each day without the weight of yesterday pulling you down. You will be free, not just in words, but in your very being. Life is constantly moving forward, and so should you. The past is not a place to live. It is only a lesson to learn from. Once you have learned, there is no reason to stay there. Let go, not because the past deserves to be forgotten, but because you deserve to be free. Most people live their lives waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, the right feeling. They tell themselves, one day I will change. One day I will start working on my dreams. One day I will become disciplined. One day I will become the person I want to be. But that one day never comes. It is always tomorrow, next week, next year, always somewhere in the future. If you truly want to transform, you must understand one thing. The only time you have is now. Look at your own life. How many things have you postponed? How many goals have you abandoned simply because you were waiting for a better moment? The truth is, there is no perfect time. The conditions will never be ideal. You will never feel completely ready. And if you keep waiting, you will wake up years later realizing that nothing has changed. The life you dreamed of will remain just that, a dream. Every person who has ever achieved anything did not wait for the right time. They made the present moment the right time. They took action, even when they were uncertain, even when they were not fully prepared. They understood that doing creates clarity, not thinking. If you wait until you feel ready, you will never begin. But if you take action now, you will create momentum, and soon what once felt impossible will become natural. Try this for 1 week. Stop postponing whatever you have been putting off. Begin now. Do not wait for motivation. Discipline yourself to act regardless of how you feel. If you have wanted to start exercising, do it today, even if it is just for 5 minutes. If you have been meaning to work on a project, take the first step now, no matter how small. The simple act of beginning shifts your energy. The more you act, the easier it becomes. Transformation does not happen in the future. It happens in the decisions you make now. There is nothing stopping you except the illusion that you have more time. But time is not unlimited. Every day that passes is a day you will never get back. Do not waste another moment waiting. Start now, because now is all you ever truly have. Transformation is not something that happens by chance. It is a conscious choice made moment by moment, day by day. If you truly wish to become unrecognizable, to step into the highest version of yourself, you must take responsibility for your life. No external force will suddenly change everything. It is you who must decide. Right now, you have 2 options. You can continue living as you always have, repeating the same patterns, carrying the same limitations, and remaining trapped in who you were yesterday. Or you can choose to break free. You can take control of your mind, your habits, your energy, and your actions. You can rise above your past, let go of fear, and embrace the power that has always been within you. 1 week. That is all it takes to begin. Not someday, not tomorrow. Now, if you dedicate just 7 days to conscious transformation, you will not recognize the person you were before. And if you continue beyond that, there is no limit to what you can become. The only question that remains is, will you choose to stay the same, or will you rise? The choice is yours.